Hello, everyone. This is Darcenovia here. This is Darcenovia back once again, and I'm reviewing Darth Vader and the Lost Command. This comic I'm reviewing explores a aspect of Darth Vader's character that isn't explored very often, and that is the mental state that Darth Vader was in during the early, times of the Empire. This takes place like not too long after Revenge of the Sith, and Darth Vader, what is he thinking? Is he still grieving over Padme? Well, this comic does answer that question to a degree, and we get a glimpse that Darth Vader, he does feel guilt over what he's done. That he is a broken man. And even though we don't have as epic Vader scenes in this comic, the artwork I don't think is the best for this comic. I do feel like the art in this comic does serve the story. The only thing I don't like about this comic is I don't like how Darth Vader is drawn. I don't think Darth Vader looks right, and I think the art is a little inconsistent from one issue to the next. It was like, what were they thinking when it came to the art? The whole premise of this is Darth Vader's trying to find Tarkin's son. Why? Because Palpatine wants Tarkin, to serve him. Vader has an idea in the story, spoilers, to kill his son and blame it on, the natives. So it will make him more useful to Sidious. So this comic kind of explains why Tarkin is such a, ruthless bastard, in A New Hope because his son dies and he essentially becomes a psychopath, which I don't know if I buy that, to be honest. I think Tarkin was always a psychopath, and I just feel like, his son dying just pushed him over the edge. I guess this story does give an explanation for that. The story also explores, certain aspects of Darth Vader, you know, what his state of mind is, and also how powerful he is. I mean, people like to say that Darth Vader is weak in Legends. Darth Vader survived for 4 days without the the equipment system to keep him alive, and that's because of the Force. The dark side kept him, sustained for 4 days, if not more. It's not really specified in the comic, really. If this comic doesn't show how powerful Darth Vader is, I don't know what does. I mean, keeping himself alive without the life support systems for days is a pretty impressive feat within itself. And it just goes to show you can't just use Force Lightning and instantly kill Vader. Anyway, the overall action of the story, there isn't as much really impressive action scenes like there was in other Darth Vader comics that I reviewed. The Purge comics, which had some badass freaking, moments with Vader and great artwork. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I think, the comic suffers because of the art. The art is not my cup of tea. It really isn't. I mean, I think the comic looks good when it, draws like, ships. I think the art look I think that's where the art shines. But when it comes to like the way human characters are drawn, it's a lot to be desired, and especially Darth Vader. Now, those who watch my channel know how picky I am when it comes to artwork in comic books, and it is a deal breaker for me. It isn't terrible. The art is, does, you know, does serve the story. It's just I think the artwork is kind of inconsistent. It does get better, throughout the miniseries. I mean, I think the last issue had the best art of all of them. I just wish, they would have given more care to the comic. I think issue 4 and 5 I think had the best artwork, and that's just my criticism towards the series. Really, I think it's a good story, but I feel like the art is kind of all over the place. The last 2 issues think have great art. The first 3 issues is a hit and miss. So if you're reading this comic, don't expect an amazing, you know, artwork, but do expect a good story. It's not one of the best, you know, stories in this era, but it's still a story worth reading nevertheless. Not to mention, it's a very easy comic to get. I mean, you could get it like in multiple different ways, though my recommended way of getting it is the Epic Collection, which what I have here. Next time, I'm going to be reviewing, at least when I revisit this collection, the first 5 issues of the Dark Times series. This is Darth Sinovia. May the Force be with you, and see you guys next time with another video. Later.